That's where sun lives. With the Nutella. Like one character is speaking. He's already in the so we push him here. Younger son. Ellie, the younger one, and he has a daughter. He's three. A girl, and then the woman is right. Three? I'm not sure. It's middle one.
Okay. Hayom Kotzav Amalocha Meruba Herschel. So there really is a lot to cover. The din is I mentioned Shabbos about Shabbos Agadol Drasha. But really, Shulchan Aruch criticizes Rabbonim that give a drasha with all kinds of flowery things and miss out the halachas.
Amen.
And I'm one of those. So the din is that the Shabbos Agadol Drasha really has to be the halachas of Pesach. There's three questions that people asked me this week. I'm using it as a springboard to cover everything we need to know on the special kviyas of Erev Pesach Shcholis b'Shabbos. Every year we do, before Pesach, we do a shir where I go through maybe a dozen short vartodas and stories. I think it's very important that the seuda table or the meals and Yom Tov to share thoughtful stories. There is a story that I asked my father to tell every single year to my children. My father's been joining our seuda for many years. The highlight of the seuda at our house is at the end of the seuda. My father was at every single seuda by the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Kemat. And he used to come home after Maidav as a child, and he used to make his own seuda, which his father gladly let him do. He'd make a seuda in 25 minutes. By the time the family started Kaddish, he was already after the fourth kos, and then he would run to the Rebbe's house, the second floor, 770, to be there for the seuda.
Wow.
From when he was a little boy.
What do you mean be there for the seuda? What is that?
The seuda was open for people that want to come in.
After the Rebbe passed away? Or?
Yeah. So my father used to keep an eye. The Rebbe used to have a whole at the end of the seuda, he used to sing and the Rebbe used to pour the wine back into the bottle. It was a whole thing. In order, but Leo drank. It's a pogum. So you have to pour a little bit wine from the bottle into the koshel yo and then back in the bottle. Otherwise, it's pogum. Leo drank from it. So the Rebbe had a unique way of pouring the wine back, and it could take up to 5 minutes. And it was back into his kos from his kos. The bottle back this way, back that way. The kids sit and giggle. Everyone's waiting for the end of the seuda.
It's hard to get back into the bottle.
No, because that's part of the problem. No, because the Rebbe poured back and forth and back and forth. Maybe I should ask my father to demonstrate here. Maybe by the Fabrengen we have at the end of Pesach or somewhere. There was a very interesting seuda, and the Rebbe and everyone would sing. I mean, it was a serious avodah by the Rebbe, but the kids, they love. They want to see how the Rebbe did it, and that's not the Morozov? Yes. So I always ask him to tell the story. This every single year he tells the story, and I love my kids that they should hear the story every year. In the city of Polotsk was a very Jewish city. There was a little town next to Polotsk, and there was a Schenker, a Jew who would rent from the Podits a place. He had a little inn, and he would sell vodka and some gefilte fish for the goyim. He lived a quiet, nice life. There was one problem: married for many, many years, they had no children. They had good parnasa. If a Jew ever came and stopped in the inn, they were very kind to the Jew. There was a new galach that came to the town, and the galach couldn't stand that the Jew is doing well. Everyone respects him, even the Polish respects him. He's making money. Right away, the galach got to work every Sunday in his drosha, how important it is not to give business to the Jew. But the goyim wouldn't listen to him. Tried to talk to the Podits to not renew the lease with the Jew. The Podits said, no, he's a very smart man. I always consult with him on difficult matters. Stop bothering me. The galach was a shtickle Talmud Chacham, and he realized that he has something he could do. He found out who is the goy that Reb Rafal every year sells his shank to a goy. He found out who was that guy. He went to the guy and they said, "I'd like to ask you for this year. Don't buy the chametz from the Schenker,
Who's the Shenko?
the owner of the inn." So for this, he promised them Olam Hazan, Olam Haba, and he made him swear on the cross, and he gave him 100 ruble. The guy promised. But what am I going to do when the Jew comes? Make sure you're not here. But the Galach didn't stop at that. By the drosha, he told all the goyim that they should know that they're going to all have a good when the Jew goes away for Pesach, he goes to Palotz. This year, no one's going to buy the chametz from him, and this way he'll have no choice. He'll have to make it hefker. The guy was straight from the Vatican. He was a Talmud Chacham. He knew that it'll be hefker, and everyone could go in. You'll be able to drink as much vodka and have gefilte fish as much as you like. Okay. The Goyim got the memo. They kept the secret. It was at a Pesach. He was all packed up. He was ready to go to Polotsk. Oh, he went. He usually knows the guy's come. The guy comes. The guy didn't come. He went to the guy's house. He's not there. Okay, no big problem. He knocked on his neighbor's door. No one wants to talk to him. Every door is locked. Everyone's running away from him. Okay, not a problem. He jumps on his horse, goes to the next town. Next town's the same story. Ooh, it's getting close to shlishis. So he said, you know what? The heck with it. I don't need this trouble. I'm not selling the chametz. He walked out of his shank. He opened the door and he started screaming, "This is hefker. Everyone wants to come drink and eat." He left the door open and he jumped in the wagon, him and his wife, and they went to Polotsk. He celebrated Pesach as if nothing happened to him. With joy. They forgot Gansen. They totally forgot about all his woes with the Galach, and that now he lost all his money.
Not so many Jews like this.
Yeah.
Not so many.
That now you know why I want the kids to hear the story every year.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah, I couldn't do that either. There's no way I could do that. The little thing at Shabbos and my head is already going like this. So after Pesach, he comes back with his wife, and the first guy he says, you guys had a good time, huh? You guys had a good time, Ivan. He said, "What good time? That dirty Galach, what kind of good time?" As soon as you left, two dogs came out, ferocious dogs came out of the forest. We've never seen these dogs. And they were walking around your house. And we couldn't go in, so we came to the Galach. The Galach came with a big cross, and he came with some tummy water, and he did a ceremony. As soon as he came close to the house, one of the dogs attacked him and gave him a bite, and the guy went running. And that's it. We didn't enjoy any of the vodka. He promised that we're going to have the Galach promised that we're going to have a good time. The Yid comes to his house and he sees two dogs. The two dogs walk over to him and they lick his feet and they disappear. So Rabbi comes into the house and he sees the vodka barrels. All the barrels are lined up. No one took a drop of his vodka.
I thought vodka is made from potatoes.
No, vodka could be made from seuda or chitim. So obviously he made it from seuda or chitim. They're very good in Ukraine, where all these shtetl are. The Adayim, the Ukrainian seuda or chitim, are considered from the best in the world. So he went back to Palotz and he asked the Rav. At that time was the Rabbi Bishcharif. And he asked the Rebbe, "What should I do?" The Rav said, "Look, you made it hefker. The fact that the Rabban Shalom sent dogs, that's not your business. Mitzad, you made it hefker with your whole heart. The fact that the dogs were there, you didn't even know it. That's the chametz is mutter."
What was the shaila?
The shaila was that since he didn't sell it to goy, so and the chametz was protected, so maybe it's not really hefker. But the Rav told him that's not true. What do you mean? You made it hefker with your whole heart. And you didn't even know that the Rabban Shalom will send the dogs to protect your chametz. Okay, fine. He thanked the Rav and he went back home. On his way back home, he told his wife, "It's takeh, the Rav said it's kosher, but I'm uncomfortable with it. If you agree with me, we're going to do for Hashem's sake, and we're going to spill all the vodka out. Because as a shaila is treif, the Welt sagt, the mefrekt shaila is treif. I don't want to have any of this vodka." His wife agreed. He went and they opened all the barrels of vodka out in the street, and he opened them. The goyim saw it. The goyim all went out, I'm telling the story the way my father tells it. I've been hearing the story for close to 50 years.
Wow.
The goyim all went out in the street and they lay down on their bellies. They licked up the vodka. And the town was Freilach. The Poritz found out. Poritz got really, really angry because he knew that the Jew is now going to have a hard time paying his rent. And the first thing the Poritz did is he fired the Galach. That is making trouble for him. And then he called the Jew and he said, I really respect the way you keep your religion, and I'll forgo the rent for this year. And Chabad was able to get some loans from other Jews and be able to produce more vodka, and he was able to get back on his feet. What happened was that this story made unbelievable Roshim in heaven. This couple next year, Pesach, already had a son. This son grew up at Tzaddik and Agon, Rabbi Avram Chechenov, was a big tzaddik, and the schus of their unbelievable Nesiris Nefesh, it was Eicha to have a son. So anyway, now
So who was these dogs?
Always these dogs. Chazal say, Lo Yachmed Isha Saritzeka. That's what Chazal say, that when the Jews will be Oidel Regel, even if the Goyim will think that they're going to go into Jewish home to steal something, that the Eibush is going to send animals. It's a Mitzrayim Chazal, that the Eibush is going to send vicious animals to protect. Yeah, that's what Chazal
saying.
think.
The dogs already,
Yeah.
that they didn't bark.
Yeah. Okay, so this is connected to my first shaila. Because someone asked me Friday if I buy. Say I'm going to Delhi this Friday after Chatzos. I'm going to go. This person asked me. I always love to go to Crown Heights. David Malka, he makes the best schnitzel. I'm going to buy schnitzel Friday. I'm going to buy it at 1:00. I'll buy a nice pan of schnitzel and other goody things he makes. Lokshen kugel. After Shabbos, what happens? On Shabbos, if I didn't finish eating the schnitzel and the lokshen kugel, this is the shaila.
The schnitzel are kosher Pesach?
No, schnitzel are made out of breadcrumbs. So the question, that was a question. That was, someone asked me this question. Kolosh and Azed, that was a question someone asked. So it really touches on a very, very interesting shaila. The shaila is how Yordov is selling his chametz. There's many ways. There's many ways of selling chametz. But within some Gedolei Yisrael, for example, so here is where the Shenkers, Erev Pesach, Shecholi is B'Shabbos, all the Shenkers had a problem. It's Erev Shabbos. You're allowed to eat chametz. Why shouldn't you sell mashke to the goyim? And the goyim, they don't know it's Erev Pesach, Shecholi is B'Shabbos. So they think, one day before Pesach, I'm going to come to the Jew and buy a couple of bottles of vodka. And they don't realize it's at a Pesach Shechol B'Shabbos. So the Jews always had the Shenkers. All the Shaylas of Chuvas are talking about the Shenkers. Minchas Aloza, the Shenkers used to come and ask the Rav, what should we do? Minchas Aloza says, no big problem. I'm going to sell the chametz an hour before Shabbos. So, no problem. You can keep your business open. Okay, that was a Minchas Aloza. It was a Godel. But there's other Gedolei Yisrael. There's a Chuvah from the Maram Shik. Other Gedolei Yisrael felt that the Rav has to sell the chametz to the goy like every year. In the Shor Chamishis, in the hour where you're not allowed to eat, but you're allowed to have anoah, in that hour is when you have to sell. Why? The Maram Shik goes to the extent he says that selling to the goy is a chelik of beer chametz. So therefore, you have to sell in that hour. It's a little extreme to say that's a chelik of beer chametz, but even those that don't think it's a chelik of beer chametz, but bottom line is, kedei loy lechalek from year to year. The chas v'shalom, there shouldn't be a takola. The goy will think, the yid will think, this one. Do it like every year. Okay, done. Okay, so within this shit of selling to the goy in the shor chamishis, still there's three mahalachim. One mahalach is the maram shik, which is very extreme. You sell it to him like every year, mamish. The chaloisa, the kinyan is this minute. But how are the Jews who have grocery stores or have a shank, gonna sell their chametz to the goy? They want to keep their store open. So if they're just gonna sell the chametz like this, the Maram Shik says, and the Tztei others say the mevatel the mechira to the goy. You prove that it's a joke. It proves that the whole mechira is a joke. So what are you supposed to do? Very complicated. To just make a tanai in the mechida, it can be a bereda, yesh bereda, ein bereda. It's very so he has all kinds of eitzes, 3-4 eitzes that Maram Shik has. He'll sell it. He'll put the money aside. He'll make a cheshbon after Pesach. He makes it.
Can make the chalois
Oh, so the second shita is make the chalois kinyan on Shabbos. But there's a Rabbi Kiva Eger that you're not allowed to do Mekach Hamemka Shabbos. There's a Rabbi Kiva Eger that says that applies also to chametz. Others say no, it's not true. Chametz is all the reasons that regular Mekach Hamemka doesn't apply. But Rabbi Kiva says, what is the reason? There's a takon, you're not allowed to do Mekach Hamemka, and if you do Mekach Hamemka, others say that it's not even chal the Mekach Hamemka, and there's no exception for chametz, not chametz. So there's a middle shita that says sell it to the goy Friday morning. And make it tonight that the mechid is chal 5 minutes before Shabbos.
And the guy has to know that?
Huh?
And the guy has
And the guy has to know that. Furthermore, there's a beautiful chiddush from Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. You have to teach him a few things. You give him your gartel as a kinyan seuda. He brings a whole Gemara that Memches Nadorim, and the Gemara says that if you're gonna buy something, if you're gonna tell him in 6 hours the kinyan is chal, he has to have the gartel in his hand in 6 hours. So the Rav has to remember to give the gartel to the goy. It's not so hard. You give the gartel to the goy, tell him, put it in your bag, bring it back to me after Pesach with the key and the shoulders. Huh?
Pen also.
I use a gartel. I'm saying a gartel because I use a gartel. I don't know if I don't use a pen, whatever keli you use.
That's right. He may decide to.
Whatever you like to use, that's what you should use. Give it to him. He should hold it and bring it back to you after Pesach.
Why don't tell him put it on your
Chabadnik for a few hours. So the guy is so excited. The guy every year wants a picture. So he can show his friends that he has the shlishis to buy the chametz. Yeah. He wants to have a picture. He wants to show his friends. So so these are the 3 basic mahalchim. Sell it like every year. Make the chalois kinyan a minute before Shabbos. Make the chalois kinyan on Shabbos itself.
Then
Oh, so the nafkamina is here. Before I want to say the nafkamina, I would say I love this thing that I think that the Maram Shik, everyone asks in the Maram Shik, what? Selling to the guy is a part of Biur Chaman? It's a sale. So I think that the Maram Shik doesn't think that way. The Maram Shik thinks that it's really, there's 2 attitudes towards Meschidas Chametz. There is an attitude that this is a real sale. And you see that that's obviously the attitude of the Alter Rebbe, because you see the Alter Rebbe work really hard to make a shtar this and a that and a out of kabbalah for the goy, because the goy is a janitor and the Yid knows that the guy is not shaykh to pay the value of the chametz. There's another Jew that doesn't sell his chametz to this Rav, to a different Rav, and there's a bit, and he's out of kabbalah. But I mean, all this, the Alter Rebbe obviously felt that this is not a ceremonial sale; it's a real sale. Other Gedolei Yisrael, they felt it's ceremonial. What's a shot ceremonial? I'm showing that I don't want the chametz. I'm showing I don't want the chametz. So I would say that it goes like this. So if you think it's ceremonial, I'm showing I don't want the chametz. But if 5 minutes later I went and I sold some of the chametz, so obviously I didn't show anything. If you say it's a real sale, I want to ask you a question. I sold a business to a goy. I sold a 7-Eleven to the goy. A week later, I come in and I steal a bag of peanuts. Steal a bag of peanuts. Would you say, now that I stole a bag of peanuts, the whole 7-Eleven belongs to me? You see, I'm Mavatal the Mechid. I showed it's a joke. I sold him 7-Eleven, then I stole a bag of peanuts. No one would say something like this. I got it. Just because you stole a bag of peanuts, you don't get the whole store for yourself. Yeah. I stole a bag of peanuts, and now the whole store belongs to me. If you say that it's a real mechida, I'm saying
you don't want
no. I'm saying if your attitude of the mechida to the goy is that it's a real mechida, and then I went into the shank that belongs to him, and I sold 7 bottles of vodka, and I took the money in my pocket. Okay, when I go to Gehenna, at the shmeisim for what? But mishmeisim the okay, there's a special schmitz for Ganav. But they're not going to shmeiss me for Oiver Chometz and Pesach. But according to this Dechemed, the Maram Shik, if you sell your Chometz Agoy and an hour later you're selling 7 bottles of whiskey, they're going to give you schmitz, not for Ganav. You're not. V'bal Yerah. V'bal Yerah, you're different line. When they're lining up for the schmitz, this guy's going here, this guy's going there. They're going a totally different line. If you wax. So
What about if you actually sell the store to the or let them make a profit for a week and that's it? That's the deal.
Okay, not everyone is so altruistic. Some people like.
A lot of them Shabbos, you sell it to the boy.
That's what I'm saying. But the Madam Shik says that if you're going to sell it to the goy and then you're going to sell a few bottles of vodka, you're mevatel the mechida.
But that's after the fact.
That's what you're saying my point. That's what I'm saying. Therefore, I'm answering. Obviously, in my mind, the answer is that in the mind of the Madam Shik, the sale wasn't a real sale.
Yeah.
It was a gilui milza that I'm not chofetz in the stomach. And therefore, in his mind, you're chayiv to do it be'erev Pesach, shecholi is b'Shabbos, you're chayiv to do it on Friday in the same time that you burn the chametz. Because it's all part of the ceremony. What I'm saying, ceremony, a ceremony. It's all part of the declaration of lahevik ha'afra de'ara that I'm selling it to the goy, but it's not a real mechira. So therefore, if I sell 7 bottles of vodka later, I'm showing that it's not bottle kafkara. But if you believe that the mechira is a real mechira, so then what's the difference that you sold later a few bottles of vodka to the goy? So you're gonna.
What that's the commission? You just okay.
Yeah. So that's one of the things you could do. The Madam Sheikh says you're asking permission. You tell him, "Don't worry, we're going to put it later. We're all going to make a cheshbon after Pesach. We're going to make a cheshbon after Pesach. What we're going to do, but you have to a little bit later make a cheshbon after Pesach.
Do what and pay him?
Yeah, because it's his. So you have to.
And he can't be Muslim.
Yeah, you could give him an extra $50 and tell him, well, we don't know exactly what happened, and So that's why I'm not so concerned. This now we're going to talk about the schnitzel that the guy bought on Erev Shabbos from David Malka. He bought a delicious schnitzel from David Malka. Okay, they're going to be open, and they say they're selling chametz. Okay, now if you'd have sold the chametz on Erev Pesach at whatever at 10:30, 11 o'clock on Erev Shabbos with no tnoim, with no nothing, he sold the chametz. So that's the chametz that he sold. Now, if you signed the document with the Rav on Rosh Chodesh Nissan and you bought new chametz, so the Shlomo Zalman says, "What do you mean?" You can answer. It's if I sell something, if I sell something and I say the kinyan and chal in 2 weeks, and then I go and I buy the item in 2 weeks in 10 days. It's not a davar shaloi b'loylam. First of all, because if it's available b'shuk, davar amotza b'shuk, it's not considered a davar shaloi b'loylam.
And they can sell whatever they want. No,
No, you can't sell something which davar shaloi b'loylam. So if you sold something, say if you sold to the goy the chametz on a chodesh nis, and then you bought a day later,
I can't sell future earning. Future.
So it's complicated. The emphasis you could. If it's davar amotza b'shuk, you could. And also, the bottom line is a lot of Rabbanim rely on the idea of Zochim L'Adam Shalei B'Chonav. Because also, if you didn't sell, you made the Rav Amurisha. You made a kinyan with the Rav to say that the Rav is your agent to sell your chametz. So the Rav you made it clear that it's your schus, that you want it to be sold. So anything you sold after you made the kinyan with the Rav, it's the same thing. You showed that you want it. But after it was sold,
What does the Rav have in mind to sell?
he has a mind to sell. Whatever person writes his name, the Rav has in mind all the chametz the guy owns. Even if he writes the address,
Even if it's in the future, like
not after the goy leaves his house. It's very hard to say. Even though I say to the goy always that I'm going to get a few because a lot of shluchim sell through me. So I say there's a few addresses that are not yet here, but they're on the way. They're coming through the email. Just in case I've been printed to you, I'll send it to you in a minute or two, in an hour. But it's already sold now.
Rav sells it, sends it.
I take a send it to him later.
But
Yeah, I don't forward it because I print it out and I make a copy on my text and I text it to him. I don't know what I email. But a text. You send it to him by text.
Who do you sell it to?
A guy.
Which guy?
He's a Schwarzer. He works he's like a guard in the store on Avenue M.
Okay, now I personally.
He's a kosher guy because he's Schwarzer.
Well, you can't be sure about that.
Like they sell it to a shvar, so they sell it to the shul or something like that.
Oh, that he's a typish and he doesn't understand.
Right, he thinks that
He's not my
religious mumbo jumbo.
No, he's not my employee. He has a job. He's not a person.
I think he looks upon this like some religious mumbo jumbo.
I hope not. I try to explain. I read the shtar. I translate it in English, and I explain what it is.
He has the paper.
No. But said the Alter Rebbe says you should read it to the guy. You should explain it to him.
Let him understand what he's doing.
I saw.
I used to sell both. I used to have a copy in English, but the truth is not necessary because you could tell the guy and that you can go to a translator and that's it.
I saw my comments with Rabbi Braun
Yeah.
because he sells it to the manager of the Chase Bank.
Oh, that's Choshev. He's a good guy.
Right.
Financially, what's the
Really,
difference?
no, he really understands that it's a real thing.
Okay.
And Eretz Israel, when they sell it, the Medina, they sell it to a very well-known Arab lawyer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I found out 10 years ago that the one they were selling for 25 years was Jewish, you know.
Barak. You know,
Bet Torah,
he died, his mother, his wife.
Bet Torah is a Charlie working with them for 50 years. A young guy. I don't know if he's black. So once, or the rabbi, not the rabbi, the assistant, he said, you know, he is now in Pesach the richest guy in Earth.
Yeah.
Because they have so much places and money, and they sell it to him.
And this Arab lawyer for sure is a very rich guy. So bottom line is, I said, it depends. If the dog is selling it and with no tanoim. So you bought chametz afterwards, it can't lemafreya be sold to the guy. The deal was done at 11 o'clock Friday. 2 hours later, you bought chametz. How can you say, now, if you bought chametz before, you bought Friday morning, you bought challah, so, and then you eat, and some is left over, that's not a problem.
The way you do it, when
Then-
does the deal take effect?
I won't answer till I get to the end.
Okay.
So, if you took challah and you bought it Friday morning, you eat the challah, and then you can leave the rest in the closet. Why? You can say many lumdus. The Rav probably told the guy that some people are going to take, or don't worry, we'll make a cheshbon after. In the worst scenario case, it's the Geven Aganav, whatever. At least you're not dealing with Chametz Pesach. Because this challah, this package of challah, was all part of the sale, the original sale. But if you bought challahs after that zman, you bought chametz after that zman, that was not part of the sale. Now, if the Rav made it tonight that it should be chal a few minutes before Shabbos, then it's fine. If you made it tonight that it's chal on Shabbos, then it's fine. And the shaila is how the chametz was sold. Now, to answer the question how I'm going to sell the chametz, the thing is like this: any way that's a little different than the regular way of selling is complicated because the dinim of kinyonim are very complicated. You could say if you made it tonight, was it bereda? Did he have that? This. You have to know what you're doing. If you're doing anything different than the cookie cutter thing, then you'd have to know exactly what you're doing. If you're doing cookie cutter, you do cookie cutter. I do cookie cutter. So it means I'm selling it every year. This year I sell it no different than any other year. I sell it to the guy. That's it. Friday he walks out of the house at 11 o'clock. It's done. The sale is done. No frills, no tanoim, no saying that it'll be chal 5 minutes before Shabbos. It is that. It's a mechira like every single year. So I'm going to tell the guy that there is a few people that are going to be doing a little bit of business, and we'll make a cheshbon after Yom Tov. And like I said, if my saying is not mahani because I'm not putting it in the shtar, so the worst scenario case is a person's considered a little bit of a ganav, he'll go on the other line.
Oh, I don't want that.
No, why not?
I don't want to get
At least you're not in the line. At least you're not in the line of the Oichle Chometz Bepesach.
The Pesach asked him to feel if it's stealing his stuff. So how do you get out of that? Is there a way
I
out
don't
of
know.
that?
It's
More
not. That's it. The guy knows that we're going to make a cheshbon, or you'll get an extra $50. It's not. No, it's not.
So you
It's not
can
an
say
issue.
something just
Yeah,
quickly
yeah.
if I pass it.
Right. No, I'm going to tell them that some people are going to be using
What's the downside
chametz, and
of
we'll make a cheshbon.
Everyone.
Everyone is going to be right.
Rabbi, what's the
Yeah, for
downside
sure.
to have it take effect right before Shabbos, Friday nights?
I already mentioned one downside. He has to the chalois of the kinyan. He has to have. What happened if you gave it to him and you gave him and he left it on the train?
Doesn't help because people slightly comments in the minyan. Doesn't help anyway.
No, the sale is a good sale. Elamai,
the people still eating chametz Shabbos.
So then
Someone-
take effect
someone-
10:30.
By telling you 5 minutes before Shabbos, we're
So then let it take 10:30.
Oh, no, it helps for the businesses that are selling.
So then it should take
Yeah.
effect
But between
10:30
me and
Shabbos
you-
morning.
What's happening? Who's selling to me? No, he's not selling to me. Pizza stores, this because all those places that have ashgochas, they sell to right, Mr. Lieberman. You're not selling a chametz pizza shop to me. The Kehila Kashrus, you're selling it to Kehila Kashrus, right? So I don't have to worry about it. So who is selling to me? Shluchim that they have balabatim that have grocery stores. Between me and you, they're open the Cholamoy too and selling the same thing. It's Elamai. So they'll be on the other line, on the smaller line. They'll be on the line, not on the Gadova line. They're not going to be on the line of the Eichle Chometz Bepesach. So it's nicht gefährlich.
Why does the Rebbe? Did they know that beforehand that you're going to sell it without any conditions?
Who? That's what I'm saying. Who should know? The people that are selling it are sitting here. I'm telling everyone now that I'm selling it on Friday, and you're allowed to. The challah that you bought Friday morning is part of the sale. It's only the things that you bought after
What time's it?
about 11 o'clock. So
Eleven,
things that you bought afterwards, then they're not a part of the sale. You can eat it up and flush the crumbs in the toilet. It's not a problem, but it's not part of the sale. What did you say?
If you're going to someone for the meal, you're going under their color, their.
Yeah. If you want something to meal, it's theirs. Yeah.
Say you want to bring something for Friday, something special on Friday morning, that's okay, right? You have to do it.
Yeah.
But like, let's say the two bottles here in the fire.
Whatever you want to burn. Yeah.
Sell chametz. Can you have it
No
by?
problem. What was that?
So you have shluchim from different time zones.
Oh, I don't do time zones.
Okay.
The other bottom that do time zones.
What's the difference this year?
And by the way,
Is I'm buying it back.
So complicated.
When you're buying it back, I don't do time zones. So a lot of rabbonim, these are the mega, like they big rabboni Chabad that are dealing with time zones. Anyone that's yesterday, Baruch Hashem, I realized someone that's going away to Europe, and Baruch Hashem, he asked me a shayla, and I realized he's going to Europe. I told him, please sell your chametz to Europe. Yeah.
I just heard of something which might be much simpler. Why not just click in the star and I'm selling you all the chametz except that which has been set aside for use on Shabbat morning?
No, but the problem is, what happens if a person set aside a bag with 10 small challahs, and then he ended up eating Friday morning only 5, and there's 5 left.
Shabbos morning.
Shabbos morning. He ended up eating only 5, and 5 are left. And if you're going to flush all 5 challahs, he's not going to have a toilet working for the whole of
So you don't have to flush it in the toilet. You don't have to flush it in the toilet. You can get rid of it in other ways.
On Shabbos, it's a little hard to get rid of it other ways. How's he going to get rid of it?
Into a public.
Put it
So
in a public.
that's why
You don't carry it
it's kedai to sell everything.
if you don't.
And then,
Yes.
okay, the other shayla, someone asked, could we make a late minyan on Shabbos? Sounds very good.
After the-
Lubavitch, you always have a late minyan. Why shouldn't we do that? And so, in order to answer the shayla, let's read quickly
How late man you win?
the
the
Shabbos.
seuda.
What time did we say Shachris the Shabbos? Huh? 7:30?
Yeah.
Okay, 7:30. So someone asked if we can make a 10:30 minyan.
For real, 7:30?
That's
That's me.
Okay, let's read quickly what the Alter Rebbe says. Shulchan Aruch.
How am I find out?
Come and find out exactly. Chaim Simetov Mem Daled Din Erev Pesach Shcholis b'Shabbos. Yudal Benisan Shcholis b'Shabbos. Kiddush Yev Shalivdik B'Leil Shabbos. Sheri Otzel L'Talt L'Sanei Livdik L'Orev Gam B'Yom Yev Shalivdik Commotion is Bar B'Simetov Lam. Oh, you don't have to.
Sure.
Here again. Chaim Simetov Mem Daled Din Erev Pesach Shcholis b'Shabbos. Sif Aleph. Yudal Benisan Shcholis b'Shabbos. Kiddush Yev Shalivdik B'Leil Shabbos. Sheri Otzel L'Talt L'Sanei Livdik L'Orev Gam B'Yom Yev Shalivdik Commotion is Bar B'Simetov Lam Gimel. On the night of Shabbos, you're not allowed to carry the candle. And by day, you're also not supposed to do bedika because Oira Ner is Yafel bedika and Oira Ner is only good balayla. Lefikach Magdima Haka Livdel Balayel Shishi Shoel Gimel Mavarchim Al Bir Chametz Mavatlan Kol Chametz Shenisha Beshusle Shalei Motza Bedika Zuv and Zaram Chametz Animtza Bedika and Chametz Shmeshayim Lachila Lanicha B'Mokem Mutzna Shalei Yigrir Menu Ktani Mo Ishratzim. So the bedika is done Thursday night. After the bedika, you mevatel the chametz, and then you put in a special bag, and you put in a special place any other chametz that you're gonna use from now on. Erev Shabbos sorech levar kol hachametz sheberishus avalei sharm rak mazon shnei seudas l'Shabbos aval seuda shlishis kimish zmanu achi chatzos yom yev shaloch l'rak matzah ashida hainu matzah shnei loisha b'yayin shemen advat shachal v'shar mashkem u'mei peder shekol eilein kran lachem ayni ben amoytz b'yedeicha v'sachshil matzah v'peisach v'levikach mutar lochre berev v'peisach aval kol matzah shodem yoytz b'yedeicha v'asa v'peisach also loch le be'erev v'peisach. What does this person do? The Erev Shabbos, he has to burn all the chametz, and then the thing is like this: that he eats Friday night, Shabbos morning, he eats challah, but for seuda shlishis he can't eat challah because it's already after the zman. So what does he eat? He eats matzah ashida. Matzah ashida is like what we call today egg matzah. Matzah that's made with eggs and apple juice. To us, the minig is that from Shechamishis we don't eat matzah ashida. Why? Asfardim do eat matzah ashida. Ashkenazim don't. Why? Because matzah ashida is magic. When you mix apple juice, eggs, and flour, it can never become chametz. But Siman Tov Samach Bey says that if there's a drop of water goes in there, it becomes double chametz, double as quick as chametz. So therefore, the minhag Ashkenazim is unless for a choilo ktanim not to use egg matzah. So Yekayim Seuda Shlishis. By the way, there is a company in Israel that makes really good cookies, egg matzah cookies. That they less and less are selling it here in the stores, but they have a good hechsher, but it's because Ashkenazim don't eat it on Pesach, so it's not popular. You can't find it in the stores. But I used to buy it. Now it's not nageh because my kids are already bigger. But I used to buy it so before Pesach, kids. What are you going to give them as cookies? These macaroons are terrible.
The fingers.
The finger things are terrible. So I used to buy these things that were good. They're good
Prices
cookies.
went up for the fingers.
The fingers are made out of. They're not so. But I don't see them in the stores anymore so much. They used to be more available. The matzah ashida cookies. It's hard to describe. They had chocolate on one side. It was like regular cookies, just like smeared a little bit of chocolate on one side. No, they were made with regular flour, chita flour. They were made in Israel, and they used to bring them here. I don't see them so much anymore. I think the reason they don't sell them is because Ashkenazim don't eat it on Pesach. But
in this neighborhood, it's
I don't see it. I was in Parma. I don't see these. I don't see them anymore. I used to see them more. I used to buy them.
So when do you eat it? When could you eat it?
Well, you could eat it until Shor Chamishis. That means if you turn over your kitchen on Monday or Tuesday, and my kids are already bigger than that anymore, and they gave it to me. But when they were little kids, and a week or 5 days before Pesach, we turn over the kitchen, and the kids still want to eat snacks. So we used to have these matzah shida cookies. The kids used to like it. There's a little bit of chocolate on one side, and they were very good.
I saw in Blue Ribbon, they have a lot of egg matzah.
They have egg matzah, but I don't see them having any more the egg matzah cookies. They used to make egg matzah cookies. So it's a good question. The bottom line, because we've gone through it last year when I was at Pesach Cholis b'Shabbos. So I'm going to answer your question, the bottom line, without the lomdus. There is two shittas. There is Rabbi Yosef that hold that in this Pesach, because it's very complicated to have kala, it's matzah shida becomes so kosher that if you eat one kabetza, you can make a moitzim bechaz hamazon. Others disagree. They say, well, manishtana Shabbos says amikol Shabbos. Listen, if you want, you could have challah and then you shake it off and you flush the rest. And no, if you want to eat matzah shida, you have to eat 4 kibetzim and sava, and then you can make hamoitzi and bechaz hamazon. Lamaisa. What I want to do. Let's see what my son-in-law will say. And if there's I don't want to deal with challah. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want the headache. I want to have matzah shida. How 4 kibetzim asava? It sounds like you have to eat a truckload of matzah. Don't have to be machmer like the Chazon Ish today. Okay, it's a chumra de basel de kula.
So how much can
Eat
you
two matzah.
eat? 2 months.
Matzah is probably, you could say, 2 kibetzim. I'm not counting now the shear of achilas of a kazayis of Leil Pesach. That gets a little larger. It's not a deirais over here. So,
2 eggs per matzah?
yeah, so 2 matzah, eat 2 egg matzah. It's not that hard to eat 2 egg matzah. If you're going to eat it, it depends what you have. If you have a lot of bos of a dog and b'chol mina matam, you're not interested in eating. But typically in the Shabbos, it's not like you have a table full of food flying from Alazaitin.
Was the salad?
Oh, but you have to eat it before the 5th hour. Yeah, because we don't eat after the 5th hour. We don't eat the matzah shida. So I think that's a very good eitzah. That's the best eitzah. You have little children, you're going to go out in the front yard and the backyard, and the crumbs, and the time. Here, if you're a minute late to Shah Chamish, it's not the same nerves as Chometz itself. It's our minig not to eat matzah shida after Shah Chamish, but it's not Chometz.
The kids can run around with it.
And yeah, it's gefährlich. Sweep it up, put it in it. It's maybe a step worse than gebrok, so it's not so bad. Okay, let me 1 second. Let me read quickly Sif Gimel. Medina say l'shenegim klalach l'matzah shira be'er pesach b'shohei ve'elach v'tam shikbar b'sematav sam rabbeis yikayim esul shlishis v'bosar v'dogim ki yotza b'shor min eliftan sher yeshem b'dvorim eilo odem yotza b'chavos seuda shlishis b'chol shabbos sashana. So therefore, seuda shlishis you should do with a bosar v'dogim. There's very few things you can do. You can't do it with an apple because I mean it is not to eat the things that are on the kaida. So you can eat a banana, you can eat bots of a dogim. You come in in a peda. So the shlishis kamosh and is bar sham. במצם מבושל שלא נמייך לגמרי בבשול הפרוצסה קיים דהיינו שיש בו חלקים עם כזייס בין ישום וברכים המועצה בחזמח מוזן ויוכל קיים בסוד השליש של דברי הקהל שנמות לא אכלה בעת פסח כיוון שאין עוד מייצה בו ידי חבוסר בפסח ומצם מבושל אלה שאינו גם לעשות כן. In other words, you could have done seuda shlishis with knedlach. The type of knedlach that there are big pieces of matzah that are kazayis and it's nikkud that it's matzah. You can't be yotze the mitzvah of matzah on it, but it's still considered a moitzi and bechaz amazon. These type of knedlach. But lepoil, it's not our minig. Why is it not our minig to do it? Probably because we don't eat gebrok, so maybe for other reasons. People that do have the minig to eat knedlach or matzah shida, but they have to finish eating it before Shoah Sidis. כשמבאר חומץ בערב שבת אף בשביל הדין יוכל לבאר סמך לא שייך ואין צורך לבאר כאלה מצלסיים כמו בשור כל השונים שלמות לא החלט למוח בשור הם חומקם טוב לזור לבאר בערב שבת כאלה מצלסיים כדי שלא יבוא ליטס בשור שונים לבאר גם כן אחר חצויס היום בערב פסח. You're supposed to burn the chametz in Erev Shabbos just like you did every Erev Pesach. Why? This way you never come to make a mistake. Aval ein tzarich levatel b'Erev Shabbos v'shas abiyek u'may b'shar ha'shanim. Shiri kvar bittel b'leil v'ov kol ha'chametz b'rishusa shalem latzal ben yadei mimenu. U'ma sheyesh b'rishusa min ha'chametz ha'yadu eloi I efshir levatel b'Erev Shabbos shiri tzarich u'lachal mimenu b'Shabbos. That you can't, when you're burning the chametz, you can't say the kol chamira. Why? Because why are you saying it? You're still going to be eating chametz. You should be saying it tomorrow, Shabbos, when you finish the meal. That's when you should say Kol Chamira. By the way, they say that they noticed when the Rebbe burnt chametz in the Kviyas like this year, that even though he didn't say Kol Chamira, he would say the Yehi Ratzon. There's a beautiful Yehi Ratzon to say, just like I'm burning the chametz in my house and my rishus, the Rebbe should help me burn my Yetzirah and expunge all the evil in me. That's a beautiful Yehi Ratzon. Could be the Rebbe also don't want to say it on Shabbos. It's a Shabbos. So maybe that's why the Rebbe said it twice. We're never going to know what he did on Shabbos. But Lepoil, it's a beautiful thing, even though it's not Shem Hashem, it's nothing wrong. But when are you gonna be mevatel the chametz? I'm gonna mevatel the chametz on Shabbos after you finish eating the meal. Then you're gonna be mevatel b'shor hachamishis. You're gonna be mevatel the chametz.
You have to. Can you still be eating the meal after that? But you don't eat any chametz.
Yeah, you could do that. You could stop. You could stop, shake off the chametz, do the chametz dance, get rid of the crumbs, and then say kol chamira, and then eat fish, meat, bench, there's no problem. You can do that.
With the egg matzahs.
Huh?
Fluff with egg matzahs.
No, because I put it in the closet with the sold it to chametz to the going end. So that's it. You could do that. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. And therefore he says, Yesh lahazel l'shliach tzibur shaloi la'arich betfilah b'shabbos u'shaklis mashum achilas chometz shaloi yavel lidei isur. Therefore you should tell the chazan to daven very fast the shaklis davenings. Once a year the chazan is supposed to daven fast. Now he didn't say fast really. He said shaloi yarich betfilah b'shabbos. Yeah. My son-in-law told me that there was once a shaila. Someone asked in the first three brachas of Shemoneh Esrei, sometimes you could make a metaken with like if you said the wrong thing, Torch Kidei Dibur. What happens if he's after Shema Kileinu, but he's Torch Kidei Dibur from the first three brachas? So it's not that type of davening. Okay, so the question that someone asked: do we make a late minyan? So I would say like this: there is a tshuva from the Menchas Aluza that he said that the Rav Levov, the Shalom Eshev, had a thing with the Belzer Rebbe. The Belzer Rebbe wanted the should eat chametz on Friday after the mechida, after the burning. Anyway, if you have a minute that you're not eating any chametz on Friday, and also Shabbos, so you could probably say kol chamida when you're burning the chametz on Friday. You could burn the chametz, say kol chamida v'chamiyah, and everything is good. And then Shabbos, you could make a late minyan. Because not eating chametz.
What did he eat? Matzah shir?
He ate matzah shir l'mazar. But I can't eat it after shacham. I'm saying it as a joke. But kids, what I'm saying is it doesn't work. There's no such a thing. You have to, even if a person says, I'm not going to eat to the Shabbos. First of all, you're mechuyev to eat to the Shabbos. And secondly, you have to say kol chamida v'kamiyah. It's a critical thing. So say one person, he has it all worked out. He is going to eat he's going to say kol chamid on Friday. Shabbos morning, he's going to wake up, wash nagavasa, and eat 2 egg matzah, go straight back to bed. And then he'll come to Beis Menachem 11 o'clock for hoidu. Okay, it's good. It sounds good. Problem is that no one else, first of all, the other few people that have come to this minyan don't know that. And they're never going to miss saying Kol Chamida, which is a critical thing. They're going to miss the Shabbos. And the ganze Welt bezogen that this is based with Achemedel. So therefore, the answer is a resounding no. We have to, this Shabbos is going to be a very nice Shabbos. It's Achdus. The Lubavitchers are davening crazy early. And no one could have, after Mincha, no one could have Shalosh Shudas, a regular Shalosh Shudas. Some people are going to do in the morning, they're going to eat, and they're going to walk around the block and then eat. It's, first of all, it's before Chatzois. There's 3 major shilas. You're having Shalosh before Chatzois, the shilah of your yoytza. You're being mafsek in the middle of a seuda to walk around the block. It's a major shilah of a bracha she'eina tzricha. It's a major shilah of a bracha she'eina tzricha.
That's before you walk around the block.
Yeah, but you knew you're going to walk around the block. So these are
the meal. You ended the meal. You benched.
But you knew who you're kidding. The Rabbi Shalom, you're kidding yourself. You're kidding. Who you're kidding? So some people say it's fine. It's a shmachlokes apoiska. I'm just saying, and it's before mincha. It's before chatzois, and it's a shayla of a bracha shein at tzricha. Therefore, really, what a person should do is to eat shalosh shudas after mincha, or at least after chatzois, and do it with a banana. To do it with a piece of fish, We can even have some bananas for shalosh shudas. It's not a problem.
Perhaps crackers you get home and you have
Crackers.
20 minutes later.
Oh, but it's not the brats.
He's still eating shalosh shudas before chatzois and before mincha.
Yeah,
Huh?
I thought that was 12 o'clock.
sure.
What's
Sure. It's 10, 20 to 11:20. No.
What?
Oh, it's later. It says about 1.
Why not?
Look at the calendar. It's still before Chatzois. What's the difference? The bottom line. Huh?
Why'd you have it at 9? You've done better.
But the rest of the Ashkenaz don't. You know, sure.
Get ready to put it on the calendar.
Okay. And you have
So
chicken,
then
for shower too?
We don't have to start exactly 7:30. We'll start at 8 o'clock.
You have chicken?
Yeah, you can have chicken. Yeah, you can have chicken.
You're not gonna have a real meal till 9 o'clock. Just can't have,
Well, half a banana. is good. Half a banana.
Well, you have to have that.
Yeah, you have to have something with shlishis. You have to have something with shlishis.
so, I mean, the thing is, you can't have potatoes, the potatoes are on the.
Right. So some people don't care about the potatoes. They're not so makbid because they say it's not like. But if you're not gonna have a potato, you have a banana. You have a banana. Yeah, boss of a dogim or fruits that are not on the side of the plate. Boss of a dogim is better than fruits. Better than fruits is boss of a dogim. It's better than boss of a dogim.
After the 10th hour.
Yeah, that's not a problem after the 10th hour. That's boss of a dogim goes through the system. It's not okay. So premise is I use this Shulchan Aruch that we learned from the Alter Rebbe as a springboard also to go through most of what we need to do for what's this year. The third shaila really was what I already mentioned what the third shaila is about seuda shlishis. Like I said, instead of reading it only Alter Rebbe, I told you about Balpeh, the three issues of having that funny thing breaking the meal. So you could just do it a boss of a dogim, and that's it.
90% of people here are gonna do that funny thing.
It's mashma from the Alter Rebbe that he rather that you do boss of a dogim than the funny thing.
What's the funny thing?
The funny thing is
90% of people are gonna do in this area.
yeah, I know, but from the Alter Rebbe, I don't have time now because it's short. If you take home the thing and read the Alter Rebbe carefully, you see that the Alter Rebbe does not. The Alter Rebbe brings the funny thing, but he doesn't hold that it's a eitzah. It's eitzah for someone that doesn't have enough food, and but it's not. If a person that has boss of a dogim, let him do a boss of a dogim, and that's it. Okay, so to summarize, just because it's Negei Lamaisa, before I summarize, a very important thing. If there's any yid that you know, you can influence them to give their address to sell the chametz. It's a very, very special thing. Even if they don't fully understand what they're doing, and even if they're really Pesach going to keep on doing business as usual, it's kedai to get their address and sell chametz.
Even if they're gonna eat chametz,
Even if they can eat chametz, so they'll be over on eating chametz, but they're not going to be over on bal yarom bal yamotz on chametz. If you give me their address, tell them, so in California, give it to Shliach in California. Yes, Chabad.org. No, you could do it for them, but you have to tell them that you're doing it for them. So therefore, that's one thing. And the second thing is try to give matzah shmura bichla demnusa bichla dasvasa to every yid that you could. Bottom line is that if you're selling chametz here in Beis Menachem Mendel, it's being sold on Friday somewhere around between 11 about 11 o'clock. After any chametz that you own before that is part of the sale. Anything afterward is not part of the sale. We burn the chametz on Friday, and we don't say kol chamira. And Shabbos morning, after the end of the zman achila, you do the chametz dance, and you get rid of the crumbs, and that's when you say kol chamira v'chamia. For shalashudus, you do it with basav adagim or with peitis. You're moving that here in Beis Menachem Mendel, besides having peitis, we're going to have divrei Torah. We're doing the Shabbos Hagadol Adrosha, which is all about tips on how to do chinuch in the house. And then we're going to have to mentor. We're going to learn a Geshmak Maimer about according to the Arizal how you do the seuda and the matzahs lifnei chatzos after chatzos. And if we have time, we'll learn the Rebbe's Maimer matzahs u'shan ha'oichlum. Rebbe shall helfen. That we should have a kosher and a freilich in Pesach.
The rabbi is selling the chametz here if anyone wants the paper.
Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Mazel tov, the chassan and Carlo.
Thank you. I sent you a picture of the Chabad house.